Hey YouTube, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Jazzy Time with your host Bailey. How's it going, everybody? This video was a little more of a instructional video or tips video, however you want to interpret it. And I wrote down the person's name so I didn't forget. I got a request on one of my videos called 5 of 7 Name Your Own Glitter Swatches. This video, I did this video like 3 years ago, and so I'm guessing she's a new subscriber, just kind of scrolling through things. Her name, I hope I don't butcher it, Letson Colazo. I'll put it here. She requested different ways to apply glitter to an acrylic nail. Now, it's been several years since I have done acrylic, but I can show you guys in gel. I will show you different ways how to put it in the nail, and also a few ways you can do it topically that won't add bulk to the nail or design or anything. So I'm going to pause for just a second, adjust the camera, we're gonna go down here and play with some glitter. All right, hey, bunny hands. Okay, so I hope you guys can see me. I am not zoomed out or anything. I'm just going to try and keep it on my little stain. My stain is my mark. It's like a bleach stain. Okay, so I'm gonna try and keep the colors cohesive because I kind of want to make these look like a whole set, but they might not turn out that way. But yes, I lost my gem in my hair in the shower. This one too. Burns, but these ones are all intact. Anywho's, okay, so the first method I'm going to show you guys is encapsulating. Now, encapsulating is usually done before you create the structure of the nail. So if you were creating this nail, you would create your extension, have your base down, pre-shape the tip and all of that, and then you would have your foundation surface or whatnot, and then you would go ahead and do this part inside the nail so that when you're finished doing the structure and finished filing and buffing and all that, it will look flawless and nice and kind of, you know, like flat, like looks like a nail. So I'm going to use this builder gel. This is 5 by Fuzion, and I'm going to use a couple of different glitters. So I'm going to use sugilite, amethyst, and I'm also going to do some chunky pieces in here as well. So just like some glitter placement. Yeah. So I'm going to grab my gel brush over here and grab my tile over here. And I'm going to give my tile a wipe because there's a hair stuck to it. Give me 1 second. Okay. Yes. Okay, so I have my base layer. My extension is on my client's nail. And this is ready to have the next bit go to it. So what I would do, I'm going to take my builder gel over my foundation layer and over the entire nail. I'm going to do a thin, I'm almost going to brush it on and just pull right out. A thin layer of builder gel, or you can do like a cover pink or whatever next step you're going to do. So I have buffed this tip just to prep it, and I have brushed my base layer all over. And now I'm going to move that and cover it so I don't get any glitter in there. And stay right there. So I'm going to open up my little glitters without making them go poof. And how I apply my glitter to the nail is a fan brush. So I'm going to take my fan brush here. And I have my little catching tray. And I'm going to go into my glitter and I will tap with my finger and sprinkle until I get that coverage I want. You can also take your brush and kind of touch it to the nail as well. Touch, touch, touch. Make sure you get around the sides of the nail because sometimes you can lose glitter around the sides when you're filing, but that's okay. It's very easily touched up. And I'm going to dump that color back into the tray. I'm going to take my lighter color on the other side. And then I'm going to pull that down into that, kind of giving me a little bit of a glitter ombre, if you will. Then I like to, I'll kind of touch it up into that negative space. Touch, touch, touch. Or I'll tap, tap, tap with my nail on the brush. Like so. And then I will cure that for 120 seconds in a UV lamp. Or you can also flash cure, but I would give it a good 30 seconds. I'm going to dump this back into my little container. And I'm going to open up my little pieces here. So these are similar to the color of the sugilite, which is why I chose them. And I'll just tap a bit into the lid. But they're going to go everywhere because that's how everything happens. So I'm going to take that out from the flash cure. I'm going to take my brush and brush off any excess that might be up on the surface that hasn't cured in place. But as you can see, most of it has cured. I am now going to take a designated glitter brush, so apart from my gel brush, and I'm going to go back into the builder gel because now this brush is going to get covered with glitter once I do this part. And I'm going to, again, lightly, and this happens sometimes, you get kind of like a mix of colors, and that wasn't fully cured there, but that's okay. It can always be fixed. And it doesn't really matter how lumpy or however it looks at this stage, because this is a very, very thin layer of gel. And I'm going to try and pull this down because I just want this to be kind of like faded. Okay. And then I'm going to take, you can use a dotting tool, you can use whatever you like. And I'm going to randomly pick up and place into that newly wet layer these diamonds. Let go of my brush. So there is no rhyme or reason. I'm just placing these like so, just to show you guys an example. And sometimes when you mess up, it turns out better. I find. Let go of my brush. So like so, just kind of however you like it. And then I'm going to fully cure this for 120 seconds. And I will pause and be right back. All right, so that is fully cured. Now we're going to encapsulate. So I'm going to be taking my regular brush in the Fuzion 5. And I'm going to take a very... I'm not going to create structure on this one because this is just a tip, but I am going to encapsulate and show you guys. And this is the same general concept for acrylic. Sometimes you can mix your acrylic, or sometimes it already comes pre-mixed, but you do the same thing with acrylic. You put down your colors and whatnot and then encapsulate in clear. I'm just floating the gel. I started in the center as you saw and went all the way down. I'm just going to flip the nail upside down so that the gel comes down to the center. Flip it back over, and then I'm going to cure it, and I'm going to kind of flip one way, flip the other, flip one way to kind of keep that spine on the gel. And I will see you guys again in 120 seconds. Hi guys, sorry, I'm just switching sticks here. So I didn't go too far into filing, but as you can see, even though it's buffed, I haven't put any top coat on there. See how that is nice and smooth on the side, like from side view? And that's all encapsulated in there. And now I'm just going to, this is my favorite part when I encapsulate glitter. I'm going to apply top coat. Just like so. Then I'm going to cure that. All right, so there that is, all nice and top coated. As you can see, it really hasn't added too much crazy bulk. So encapsulating is definitely one of the #1 ways to go when you want to put a lot of bling in a nail and you want it to last. So that is method #1. And now method #2. I'm just going to steal this little nail over here. I hope it'll stick into here. I was having trouble with the other stick because I realized I grabbed a bunch of different sizes. So here I have a pink base with a hair. So the next one, I call it mix and apply. So if you want like just a little bit, or you want just like a little accent, give me 1 second. I'm gonna grab the right one. Where are you, Jill? There it is. Okay. So the thinner the better for this method. So I'm going to use Sheer Brilliance 3. It is tacky free, and it is one of the thinnest gel sealers. So for this one, I have my tile here. I already have my base color, and I am going to use this tanzanite color here. And I'm literally going to take my cuticle pusher, and I'm going to take a tiny little bit onto my tile, just like so. As you can see, the theme for this is pink and purple. And so I have a brush. This is my glow-in-the-dark brush, but I used the other end when it comes to mixing. So I'm going to take a little bit of that on my brush. You can also use top coat. That works perfectly good for this as well. And so you want to mix it. When I mix it, I always say you want it to be flowy, not chunky. Because it's like a rule of thumb. You can definitely have too much glitter in your top coat. So this is definitely still flowy. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm gonna wipe the end of this. I'm going to grab my glitter brush again. And you can use this like a top coat, so you can go all over the nail, or you can do something like apply it near the cuticle area or the tip and use your brush or a silicone tool. I like to use a silicone tool. I use my brush to kind of get it started, and then I'll pull it down a bit and grab my pointed silicone tool. Oops, sorry guys. And I'll kind of pull this down from the cuticle. You get kind of like a fade. Like so. And then you cure that and put your top coat over top of that. And I call that mix and apply. That's what I call that. So that is that method, but I'm going to finish it. Let's cure and polish. All right, and then I'm going to apply my top coat. And the reasoning for the thin gel too as well, because when you do mix and apply, it's usually done topically, so which it means on top of the nail. And you don't want to add extra bulk to the nail. So that the thinner the gel kind of helps. I don't know if you guys can see. Put my hand here. Oh, my top coat's sliding. You can see it doesn't add extra bulk to the nail. So I'm going to go ahead and cure that all the way and be back once again. All right, there it is off the nail pop stick there, and I just wanted to show you guys the cuticle area here. No added bulk to the tip, still nice and flat. So mix and apply, that is another method. All right, now this one, I'm going to call this one topical encapsulation. Because, so I'm going to do some line work, and I'm going to show you guys, it's also a method of like, I'm also going to do a little bit of like color blocking, if you will. So I have my base coat here, and I have wiped it off. This color is 011 from Tips and Toes. It is a purple cat's eye, but I have not done the cat's eye effect on this, and I am actually wearing this color, one of my favorite purples. So I have my tile, and so it's a method of sugaring. And where's Sheila? There she is. And what I'm going to do is take the same color, the same base color here, and or you can also do this with clear gel. It doesn't matter. I'm going to use the same color as my base color. And I'm going to use Sheila. So what I'm going to do, I'll do the first part with you guys, and then I'll kind of speed through the rest of the design part, I guess. So because we have the little diamonds on the encapsulated one, I'm going to do some diamonds, or I would say like a diamond gradient. I'm going to use a couple of different colored glitters here, but I'm going to start with the dark purple. So I've marked that off, and I'm going to fill that in. So you guys can kind of see that matte to shiny color difference there. I'm gonna get my catch tray and my fan brush again. And I'm gonna start with tanzanite. This is a Martha Stewart glitter. You could also just do it like over top of the container. I always have a catch tray. That's just what I'm used to. I just do a thin layer. Top off the excess really good. I'll give it a little bit of a blow. So now that is in that, and I'm going to put that in the light and cure it fully. 120 seconds, and I will be right back. Okay, so that is fully cured. I can put my finger in it here, and then I'm not going to get very much off. So for this part here, you don't want to use a soft brush. You're going to want to use a stiff bristle brush, because it'll get all that extra not stuck in the gel on top, and it'll make you have nice crispy lines just like that. So I'm going to continue. I'm going to go with the next color I'm going to use is purple spinel, which is kind of like this pink purple color. And then I'm going to go into sugilite, and then finally I'm going to go into amethyst. And if there's enough room at the bottom, I might go into coral, but it all depends on how this design is going to go. So I'm just going to continue with color gradient down, doing the same method until the nail is finished. But I'm going to speed through this part for you guys so you don't get bored. All right, so that is all finished, even though we can't really tell the design yet, but I'm gonna do something to help that along. So now that this is all cured and wiped, and you can obviously tell with a tough brush, that's not gonna come off the top. So what I like to do, even though this is on top of the nail, so I'm going to take a gel sealer and a top coat. The gel sealer will hold everything in. So this is also considered like a top coat, but it's a gel sealer. And then top coat. Or you could also do 2 coats of top coat. So this is sheer 1. This is the original. This has a tacky layer on it. And I'm going to use my sealer brush. And gently float a very, oh, sorry, my hand's right in the way. Gently float a thin layer of this in between. Sometimes you can get glitter on your brush, but this method I find you don't get very much. As long as you're floating the gel and not painting it, you shouldn't get no more than like 1 or 2 flecks of glitter in your brush. And this Sheer Brilliance 1, this is a self-leveling topper. So I don't know if you guys can see that line of shine there. So I'm going to cure this fully, and I will be right back. Okay, so that is fully cured. I am going to wipe off the tacky layer. And I have just a little bit of OPI 020 or OPI, IBD, sorry. I always say OPI. I guess it's because the bottles look the same. And I'm just going to add a little bit of decoration here. Don't mind me. Just like that. I'm going to cure that, and then I'm going to top coat that. All right, so there's that all done and top coated. I'm going to take it off here, and I hate this. Happens all the time from stick tack. Bugs me. Get rid of that. All right, so again, here's a nice side profile. I'll show you guys from this side so you don't see the little sticky tack thing. Side profile, you can see from the tip, there is very minimal bulk added, especially if you're doing it topically. This is one of my favorite methods if the client wants lots of glitter and lots of bling. You can do it this way and it's easily removed versus encapsulating. If you're not comfortable encapsulating, topical encapsulation also works really well. All right, next, let's get this nail on here. All right, so the next one, burnishing. So I have done a base coat and wiped it. This is also a Tips and Toes gel polish, number 043. This is a bright neon coral color. I will also be using this. It's coming off a little more orange on camera, but this is a really pastel-y light pink named Coral. So I like to do a base coat for this, or a base coat of the color, I should say. And then I will very thinly, very, very thinly go in and apply a second coat. And I'm not going to cure this fully, but maybe for about 45 seconds or so. This gel polish kind of has a tacky layer. Burnishing works really well over a tacky layer when it comes to glitter. If it's chrome or something, you want to use obviously a no wipe top coat, but this is glitter. So for this method, I like to use a fresh latex-free makeup sponge. So I just grab this one out and my finger. So when that's ready, I'm gonna give it a few more moments here. I like to take my sponge and go into the glitter so that there's lots of glitter on there. And then I pat it into the nail and kind of rub a little bit. And then I will use my finger and rub it in the rest of the way. And it kind of helps the glitter like lay down, if you catch my drift. All right, so this isn't fully cured, but I've got a good tacky layer. So that's what you're looking for burnishing. You want a good tacky layer. So I'm gonna grab my little tray, grab my sponge, and I touch my sponge all over. And it's best to get as close to the color of glitter that you have when you're burnishing, because sometimes it doesn't always lay down. Like I'm assuming right here in the corner, I totally just missed like a little spot. I don't know if you guys can see that. I was just bare in that spot. And then I'll run my sponge down, and I don't know if you guys can see that. See how it kind of lays down next to each other? It's almost like the glitter kind of lines up. next to itself, and you can use your finger and really rub it in. And it's like zero bulk added when this happens. But yeah, it almost kind of like lies down next to each other and kind of lines them all up really nice. Just like that. And then I am going to take my top coat. This is really super easy if you're looking for a super shiny nail in a pinch or super fast. Take my top coat and make sure when you're doing top coat that you've got a good little layer between the brush and the nail, because you don't want to be pulling any of that glitter off. So you almost want to kind of just lightly float the top coat. And the reason I said the reason I said that it should be similar in color is because sometimes, I don't know if you guys can see on the tip there. Try to get really close here, maybe it'll focus. Just there, and then a little on the tip. We just missed a smidge, but you can always hide that with things like filigree or stamping or whatever your strengths are. But so I'm just curing that for 120 seconds, and that is a sugared nail, or sugared. Sugared is the next one we're going on to. That is a burnished nail. That's it. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm going crazy, guys. I'm going crazy. Glitter everywhere. Glitter. All right, I'm just going to pause until that is cured, and I will be right back. All right, so there's that one. I'm just going to pull that off there. There you go, and it looks super shiny. I really like the way this one looks, and these ones are super fast to do, as you guys can see. You get a nice, good blingy, almost chromey-like effect out of it when you burnish it that way. So there's that one. And last but not least, I did not prep my base color, so I'm going to do that, and I will be right back. All right, so here we go. So I have done another base color of the pink gel polish here, and I have wiped away the tacky layer, so you don't want a tacky layer. So this next method is sugaring. Now you can do this in a couple different ways. I'm going to show you guys both on this nail together. I'm going to kind of do like a pattern type deal. So for sugaring, you can do the entire nail or pattern, and I think I literally just said that. So I'm going to give you guys an example, and because we're sticking with diamonds here, I'm going to continue with diamonds. So inside this diamond here, and I'm going to switch to the brush from the gel polish bottle to speed this up a little bit. So you can, again, you can use gel polish. I always suggest using similar color to whatever color you're putting on. But then again, if it's applied properly, it shouldn't chip. So you shouldn't need that color underneath. So say this is like the full nail. You can do a full color. You can do however you want. I am going to kind of mix it a little bit. I'm going to go a couple different colors here. And that's just me. So sugaring is literally over the top, and you sprinkle it over, and then you're going to cure that, but you're going to leave it textured. So you're going to leave it that sugary texture, hence why it's called sugaring. So I'm going to cure that, and I'm going to pause for just a moment, and I will be right back. All right, so again with my stiff bristle brush here, move that way. And then we're going to leave that like that. We're going to leave that textured. So sugar, just like that. And now, because I want to show you guys one of the designs, and because I love, love, love doing scroll work, and because I want to be able to see it, I'm going to use my detail brush, and I'm going to use the purple, just so I can see it, because we're also going to be putting purple on the nail anyways. So we're just going to, and you can do any design that you wish. And as long as you have a fine enough glitter, and don't do your lines too thin, it should stick without causing any problems. Sorry, I'm probably going to get super quiet. I always get quiet when I do scroll work or filigree, whatever you want to call it. Add some dots in there, just because. So there it is so far. So I'm going to leave that like that. And grab my little brush and sugar all of that. If you're doing this on somebody, make sure you're twisting and turning the finger all different directions. Tap off the excess. Cure that once again in your lamp. Fully. I think I just bumped it. Oh no, I think we're good. Okay. So I'll pause and be right back. All right, so stiff brush. Give it a good wipe. And there you have it. Pull that up there. There we go. So that remains textured on top of the nail. And you can also topically encapsulate it as well with 2 coats of top coat or a gel sealer and then top coat as well. All right, so I'm going to tidy up you guys and I will see you all back up top. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you guys have any other requests, sorry, I'm cleaning. If you guys have any other requests, please definitely leave them in the comments below. I do see and read every single comment that is left, and I do appreciate all of them, and I also appreciate everybody's support. So, click, comment, like, subscribe, and share with the universe. Keep coming back, YouTube family. You know I love you. Follow me on Instagram. Hi. BC_Jazzy_time. And if you would like to follow me on Twitter, @nailsb. Yes. What else? Subscribe, hit that bell notification. And you guys will be notified every time I post. I post every few days. I don't know what the content's gonna be, but it's content. Anywho's, everything that I used in this video will be listed in the description box below. If you, like I said, if you guys have any other suggestions or things you'd like me to do for you, drop them down there in the comments. So yes. Anywho's, I hope you guys all have a wonderful evening. Stay tuned and stay jazzy.